the boys
Previously
actually
on Mommy-Daughterish.
Long story short, the boys would actually court you. It's just like they want advanced girls now. They want girls who are licking something, touching something, doing something.
Yeah. I feel like nobody's interested really in courting. I think as women, we want to be courted, but we want it to happen on an accelerated timeline. It's not too many men who can handle you fully living in both worlds.
Well, there's truth to that, and then there's not so true. I'm only, boyfriends get hot dogs, okay? I'm just saying, listen. But anyway, when you do get to that person that you decide to commit to strongly, and or marry, you should be a Meg Thee Stallion for them. That persona in many ways should come over into your marriage. Now, you can't take the whole, if you ain't buying me a Birkin, then we can't be together. You can't bring that over, you know what I mean? Because everybody can't afford Birkins. But, as far as like the intimacy between y'all, back when my mom and them came up, if you did anything other than missionary, again, you was considered a whore. Seriously, that's not a lie. Y'all can look that up. So
and now we gotta do it in a headstand, do it in a split,
hanging from a chandelier,
hanging from shower curtains, and look,
that's
much.
That's
why I tap out.
Listen, you gotta put your boundaries on it. I ain't saying, even the Bible said don't be a fool. Okay, you gotta have your boundaries, but at the same time, you have to bring some of those. Some of that inner Meg. You have to bring that to your long-term committed relationship. Don't be doing headstands for a guy that you only known for a couple of weeks. Hey,
some niggas not impress them. That is what's gonna keep them. It's not, because they can go find 17 other women that will do a headstand, that will do a backflip, jump from the dresser, and everything else.
And make my ham sandwich afterwards.
Okay. And rub their feet till they go to sleep. Like, no. So don't think that's what's going to keep them or impress. Okay, we're going to switch from looking for men and switch to dating just as a woman with what you were looking for. So what were you looking for or trying to be as a woman when, preparing yourself to be in a relationship or when you got into a relationship with a man? What was your idea? Like, I want this man, or now I'm in this relationship, this is how I'm going to behave, this is who I am now.
I thought I was going to be more like a Wheezy from the Jeffersons, if y'all don't know who that is. Or, her counterpart, June Cleaver. You know what I mean? I thought I was going to be along those lines. I found out that was somewhat a lie. I do cook and I clean and all of that, but I'm also a liberated woman. You know what I mean? I feel like being a woman is a superpower and not a weakness. And again, this is no disrespect to our male counterparts. I love y'all. I think y'all great. But I do think being a woman rocks. I really do. So I thought that, but that's a difficult question for me. And you've heard me speak of this because no one really ever taught me about womanhood. It was all a by sight thing. You know what I mean? You saw what your mom did, your aunts did, maybe other women's in the other women. Sorry, I said women's. Other women in the neighborhood. It was women's. It was.
There.
But other women in the neighborhood, nobody ever really set me down and said, this is only time I was really ever taught about being a female or maybe a woman was in relation to my ability to get a man. So like I was a tomboy when I was a little girl, and so I fell a lot and scarred up my legs, and I always remember my mama saying, ain't no boy gonna want you with scarred up legs. And I remember thinking to myself like, well, what about how I'm gonna feel about my scarred up legs? You know what I mean? So stuff like that. But I just thought I was supposed to be, like I said, this, wheezy June Cleaver type, truthfully. And then as time went on, I found that wasn't exactly accurate. And there was a lot more to being a woman, to being a mother, to being a wife. So I'll say that. I really don't have a straight answer for you on that. I don't even know, because listen, I'm really just figuring this stuff out as I'm getting older. Okay, I'm just saying. That's why I talk to you all the time, because didn't nobody learn me, honey. I figured this. Whew, child.
I know. I think before, I will say up until this last year, which, of course whatever we're saying now, we've already said to each other. But I think up until really this last year, I thought I would end up in a relationship and be married, and then that was just that. Oh, I just knew for a fact I would be married by now. Like, at this point in my mind, I should have been at least 2 years married by now. Like, at this point in life, I should have been 2 years married. But I think that God knows the type of people that we are. He knows who he created in me, and that I'm very gullible. Okay, I can openly admit that. And that if I would have stayed, I know, right? And I just know if I would have settled for certain relationships, or, remain in prior relationships,
I would be in jail.
And I would have, settled just to achieve that, you know what I mean? Because that's just the vision and the goal that I have for myself. But when I really sat back and thought about it, because at first I would beat myself up. And I would think to myself, like, why am I single? Why am I not in a committed relationship right now? Like, things should be panning together. I'm finished with school. I'm getting my job. Like, so where's the man? Like, what's happening? And so I'm like, what's wrong with me? Am I on the move too much? Like, what's happening? And a part of it was, yes, I was not in a, solid position to even be able to attract and keep a solid relationship. Like, I went from school, being back and forth with that, and then right after I graduated, I moved out the country. Then I came back, and that was COVID, so there were so many ups and downs to go through to even be like, how would you have even found a man and been able to create a stable relationship? But then I also had to realize too that I know once I settled down into a relationship, I essentially would have halted myself. You know what I mean? I can be very upfront and honest and say I would have stopped myself from doing whatever it is that I wanted to do, because my focus would have just been on how do I maintain and keep a healthy relationship. Then as soon as kids come into the picture, like, my whole focus would have just been my family, and everything I wanted to do would have been on the back burner for however long. And I realized, I don't know, my God. But I like, there would be like, we would not be having this channel right now. We would not, first of all, I would not be up right now. I would be trying to wrangle some kids to bed so I can go to sleep. And I just realized I'm still in a very selfish phase of my life. Now, don't get me wrong, I always say if any circumstance were to change at any point in time, I will be able to step up to the plate and handle it. However, if that is not what has to happen right now, I'm A-okay with that, because I like to go to brunch whenever I want to. I like to go to sleep and wake up whenever I want to. I like to spend my money for me, okay? Don't get me wrong. I love to share. I love to treat people. I love to buy people stuff and all that. But I like having the freedom to say when and how I want to do that. Whereas if I had a man and kids and whatever else, you don't have that. You really don't. So I think before 2020, I really felt like I would immediately look at a guy and say, okay, how do I see us in a relationship long term? Like, I wouldn't even look at, the present qualities, like, well, of course I look at like, oh, does he look good? Is his teeth straight? But other than that, it was just like, will you make a suitable husband? Can I bring you to the corporate Christmas party? That's what's going through my mind.
Not the corporate Christmas party. Okay.
I'm telling you, that's how my brain was working, because I knew the type of life that I wanted for myself. And I knew at some point I'm going to end up in like corporate America, or, you know, some stable job of some sort where if my partner is with me, we need to look like a unit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, can you come to the corporate Christmas party and I not be embarrassed? Can I leave you alone at the punch bowl while I go to the bathroom and nobody's going to be talking crazy on Monday? That's all I need to know. I still ask that same question to this day, but it's more so because of the high rate of pregnancy, which no tea, no shade to nobody. You know, I love seeing all the babies on Instagram. I'm just not set up to have no kids right now.
I'm not prepared to be a grandparent. I would not be good at it.
Yeah, and I just, like, I'm so terrified of, again, if it were to happen, of course, I would step up to the plate. But I don't need it to happen right now. But if I encounter a guy and we take it to that level, I have to be honest and say straight up, can I be attached to this man, whether we're in a relationship or not, but can I be attached to this man for the rest of my life? And that's just how I look at things. So I think beforehand I looked at it from a me perspective, but now I look at it just from a setting up my life perspective. But I'm just so, like, ambitious and determined to make stuff happen for me right now that I'm living my best city girl life right now.
Okay,
and I kind of like it
girl.
here. I kind of like it here. At first, I used to judge. I'm not going to lie. I used to judge, or I never understood. I was not judging. I was questioning. Questioning strongly how women...
She used to button up my shirt, y'all. You know, you had to button up, button down. You got a little cleavage.
Well, this cleavage. This is before I had cleavage, and I didn't understand why they were just always there like that. I didn't get it, but now I have cleavage, and I'm like, shoot, let some things fly, girl.
Don't make me do that. Don't show that part.
Just let the things fly. But I didn't understand how girls could talk to multiple people, or, you know, be on dates all the time. And when I was in my last relationship, this was like end of high school, early college, and, you know, you would always say to me, you know, just live your life, just date.
I found that so weird. I'm sorry, real quick. So I'm wondering if you base that off of because of the environment you grew up in, because I very much so, hey, I'll date them all, sis. Date them all. I'm for that. You know, go through, and I didn't say sleep with them all. Hey,
Absolutely
just
not.
because you date somebody don't mean you gotta sleep with them.
Absolutely not.
But, you know, you should not get with a guy. And, I mean, now, if you feel like the Lord done told you this is the one, and you truly done listened and sought out guidance for this, by all means, yes and amen, go for it. 9.5 times out of 10, he is not the one. I'm just saying, anybody that you met under the age of 25, 9.5 times is not the one. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. They were not it. They were not. I think it was a mixture of things. I feel like my brain was so formulated to how other people saw me that every move I made was intentionally done to fit that mold. So I'm not saying I never thought for myself, but essentially I never really thought for myself. And I'm not really, even to this day, like, I'm okay with, you know, mixing and I like calling it mixing and mingling. You know, just mixing and mingling. Because, again, my cutoff game is strong. Because I just don't be having time. I just don't have a lot of time, okay? Time is essential, and I don't have a lot of it, okay? So, mixing and mingling is just what I do. It might be a hey today, it might be a bye tomorrow. I don't know. But I'm a very long-term person. Any guy that I've ever encountered, we have some sort of history together. You know what I mean? It's never like a 3-month or a 6-month, like, this is years.
I was like that too, but it was really because I didn't know how to break up with nobody.
Yeah, that too. I don't know how to just be like,
I usually just stopped calling.
Yeah.
I tried it with your dad, but he found it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I tried to hide from her dad on campus. We met in college, and
I don't know.
He hunted me down. They would let him up to my room. Mind you, nobody's supposed to be up there. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Anyway, I know. I don't know. I just never understood how to do that. And I just felt like that would look, again, just, you know, getting caught up in what the perception of a hoe is and all this different type of stuff. I just didn't want there to be any confusion, or for anybody to be able to go and say, oh, man, he's like, I heard, I don't know. I was just, you know what I mean? I don't have time for that. We're not. And I just feel like I've worked so hard to build myself up to where I am. Like, I don't need everybody to be able to say that. Again, nothing wrong with it. I just can't wrap my mind around it. But now I think being able to, one, just being fed up with relationships, that's one. Two, seeing how whatever the system formula I was trying to achieve was not working. And three, just seeing so many people just getting what they want. And I'm not saying I'm out here, I still haven't figured out the real city girl formula, because I've yet to receive Birkin bags or purses or cars or, you know, get my cell phone bill paid. None of that. I'm still working on it. I'm still trying to figure this out. But, you know, just to be able to have, you know, conversation with someone, or, you know, if I do want to just like go out and do something, to have, you know, I can call this person, call that person. I enjoy being able to do that. So I'm slowly wrapping my mind around the concept, but I just like the feeling of just being free. You know, just being free. Now, again, don't get it wrong. I'm still trying to summon the spirit of my husband. All right. But I can be patient for him. I can be more patient. Because there used to be literally up until last year, I would literally walk around the house and everything that came out of my mouth was my husband, my husband, my husband, my husband, my husband, my husband.
It was
literally everything that came out of my mouth. And I still operate in that mindset, but I think now I'm just like, okay, I'm going to be patient, because am I ready to have a husband right now?
That's the question.
Which I am not. Okay?
Being a female does not qualify you to be a wife. Know
Say
that.
it louder for the people in the back.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. It's levels to this.
Yeah.
It's levels.
Absolutely.
And I'm doing it for 18 years, y'all.
I'm just not ready. And like, that's what really made me real. I was really being I live with my parents, as I've said before. But always just being around my mom all the time, and, you know, seeing both my parents. But I don't know, during the quarantine, when you really forced to sit and think about things, I was just having almost like an outer body experience, just watching everything around me and just watching my mom and listening to her. I'm like, yo, this woman is really like a wife and a mom. And like, I know I'm grown, but like, she still like takes care of me and like make sure I'm okay. And she's like concerned when things happen to us. And like, I'm just like, I don't care. I do not care enough at all. Like, even if I get sick, I'm just like, okay, we just gotta wait for this to pass. But I'm not in the, oh my gosh, let me pack your lunch. And like, it sounds cute in my head, and I'm gonna get to that point at some point. But right now, I'm like, so you gonna pack your lunch? Or you gonna eat out? Or what you doing? Because me, I'll go to bed hungry. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So it's just things like that I think altering the mindset of how we look at things. I think it's nothing wrong with, you know, if you want to be a city girl, a city boy, if you want to be tied down, if you want to have a family, there's nothing wrong with how you want to live your life. But I think for me, the biggest understanding I came to was that you don't have to live by a fixed image of what you perceive your life should be. And I think a lot of what I wanted for myself was based off of how I thought things should be, because of things I was seeing around me. Like, my parents have been together since they were teenagers, so I felt like, okay, well, I have to find my husband, like, when I get to college, like, you know. And I'm literally like walking around campus looking at everybody like, is it you? Is it you? Is it you? And it was none of those people. Okay. At least at that point. I'm not gonna say they might not run around the block one more time, but at that point in time, absolutely not. But yeah, so I think, and then even just like one of my god sisters, she met her now husband when at this I think she met him when I was in my last relationship. Like, we were in relationships at the same time. So because she was on that path and we were so close and I admired her and looked up to their relationship, I was then trying to mold my relationship into that. And I think it just hit me that I don't have to. Everybody says the cliche, you know, everybody's path is not the same. You have to walk your own journey. But it's really hard to hear things. And then you have to really go through life to be able to apply things to yourself. Like, you can say, oh yeah, I've heard that, I understand, I get it, da 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 da. But until you really go through things, you really don't understand how to apply that into your own life. And I think just now at this point, I'm getting to the point where I can now see and understand all the things that you were telling me about dating and not trying to rush things and preparing myself and doing what I want for myself first before entering a relationship, because I'm at the point now where I can really receive that information and get it. So yeah, this has been a long periodically chat. It's been long. We could go on for hours. But yeah, so this has been our first mommy-daughter-ish episode. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you have gotten some wisdom, some tips. I'll give you, we'll try to end with 3 takeaways. So I'll say my one takeaway is just live your life, you know, live for you and do what makes you happy, despite how even if it's your mom, because my mom has not agreed with every relationship I've been in or the decisions I choose to make in my relationships, but she allowed me to be me and figure it out. So that's what you got to do. Now, take heed to some things so you don't end up in a situation you don't want to be in, but live your life how you want it to be. You have a takeaway.
Date them all, sis.
Okay. All right. And that's on period. Okay. Date them all. Date them. You don't have to sleep with them. Date them. Okay. Make it beneficial. Okay. And don't just be in a dating situation to take everything. You can offer some things too that isn't something between your legs. Okay.
Okay.
You can offer some other things, but date them.
Yeah.
You have another one, or you want me to get a third one?
You gonna give a third?
Okay. My third one is...
no.
Oh, okay, you go ahead. Okay.
Boyfriends get hot dogs. Okay.
Period. Write that on... Ooh! Write that on your wall. Boyfriends get hot dogs, okay? And we're going to explain that in another video, but that's another takeaway for tonight. So that's our 3 takeaways. Live how you want to live and be happy. Date them all. Boyfriends get hot dogs, okay? So that's it for this episode. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button below. Make sure you go and watch past videos so you can catch up and see what all has been going on so we can get geared up for what's coming in the future. Let us know in the comments how you like this, what you took away from it, what you would like us to talk about.
That part.
Yes. If you have anything you would like for us to talk about us personally, our mother-daughter relationship, or if you have some mother-daughter things that you would like to get off of your chest, please.
Ask Mama G.
Yes, ask her. Ask me. Ask us. Let us know. And yeah, we will see you in the next video. Just remember, keep your head high, and you are strong, fearless, and capable of anything and everything that you want to do. Okay?
Yes.
We'll see you next time. Bye.